live, just to let you know.
Let's do it, man.
All right, we're coming here live in the fourth quarter. 6 minutes, 7 minutes left to go, and it's not been a good day. It's not been a good day, Bengals Nation. It's
Not
not
been
been
good,
great.
man. It's not been good, man. Casey, how you feeling, brother? You feeling all right? It's not been
Um,
good, man.
I'm a nervous wreck, man. I'm. It's not good. I'll just put it like that. I'm at a loss for words for how poorly the offense is really executed. I mean, it stems down from multiple different things like coaching and whatnot, but it's just all around not been a great day. Um,
Let's go, T. Sorry, I'm a little bit ahead of you. I'm sorry.
you're good. You're good.
Man, it hasn't been good, man. And the offensive play calling, man, or not even. I think it's not even the play calling. It's more so the routes, man. It just seems like
It's not creative.
stiff.
Yeah, it's not creative at all.
It's like all these curl routes,
There's no
all
advancement
these.
from our offense of last year. It's the same thing, and maybe that's. I mean, we tout it as something that's really good, but it's really not when it comes down to people have been defending us the
Where
same
are
way for years.
where are the post wills at? Where is the creativity, man, to cause confusion in the back end? The offensive line is holding up, man. That is not an excuse today. We gotta go, guys. Get some urgency. Get some urgency. What's going? I don't understand, man. This is something I've always hated though. Like when it's clutch in the game, there's no urgency at the end of the game, man. Just burn 20 seconds off the clock, man. Why are we huddling? Why are we huddling right now? Come on, dude. Bro, man.
Are you in the 6th minute? What where are you at on the
I'm at
broadcast?
let's see. 5 minutes and 39 seconds. So I might be way ahead of you. I'm like
Yeah.
11 to 12
Yeah,
seconds ahead of you.
you're way ahead of me. I'm just gonna use the ESPN Gamecast.
This is the game right here, man.
Needed that.
Did you see it?
Yep, we needed that.
Okay. Yeah, this is a big play, man. They got to get some urgency, though. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Yep.
Come on, man. Run a sluggo to the
Yeah.
backside.
We
Come
need
on,
another
do something.
drive. Like we need another drive after this. They gotta
T.
hurry up.
Higgins is cooking, bro. In a world where Jamar Chase has gone not like disappeared, T. Higgins is absolutely blazing right now. Come on, man. Let's go. Let's go, man.
Nice.
Go, 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 go. Let's go. Come on.
That was huge.
4 minute. They're running 4 minute defense. You see, they're like laying on people, getting up slow. They got to go quick though, man. I mean, I'd like to see them like just go. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they
I,
need to
I
hurry it
like to
up. They
see them
need
get up and go on the ball, man.
I mean, they gotta have another drive after this. They gotta stop the Ravens and then go back down and
Right.
score again. Like
What's the lack of urgency for? I don't understand. Oh boy. Why go? If I'm
Nice. I'm a little ahead of you just watching the game cast.
okay, okay,
So I'll be quiet. I'll let you react.
okay, okay. Let's go, Jodine. Now get on the ball. Let's go, guys. Let's go. Come on, man. They're acting like 3 minutes and 50 seconds is a long time. Let's go. Come on, man. We need an Irv Smith touchdown, man. We need an Irv Smith touchdown, JB. Okay.
Joe has thrown 39 times today. That's just too
Is
much.
Joe limping?
Oh, don't tell me he's limping.
Come on, bro. Patrick Queen is a dirty son of a you know what. What was that, Joe?
Come
Joe
on.
Burrow, what was that? It wasn't even close. Was the depth off or what was it?
Come on, boys.
Joe Burrow got a little scared, I think. You almost have to take three here, honestly, to give yourself a chance.
Right.
Cover zero across the board, man.
Let's
T. Higgins is absolutely dominating these
let's
boys, man.
go. Let's go.
Let's go, T. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. T. Higgins is absolutely dominating these boys, man. He is dominating these cats.
Man, I'm still nervous though. We gotta get a good stop here.
Patrick Queen clipped Joe Burrow's leg earlier in the play, and I think nothing crazy, but I think Joe might be feeling a little bit.
Oh,
Great
that's
throw
not
by
good.
Joe. That's a tough throw off of your back foot, man. Incredible throw by Joe Burrow. That's a
Gonna,
tough throw right there. Boy, if Evan would have missed that, I probably would have got sick.
oh man,
Woo, what are we down by 3?
down by 3. Let me
Down by
update the
3 with
J board real quick. Scoreboard here 24 to 27 right now. Got 3 minutes left. 3 minutes and 30 seconds left in this ball game. Defense needs to come up
defense
big.
has got to get a stop, man. Come on, D. You've been getting cooked all day. Yeah, he's working out that calf. You see him?
Oh no, that doesn't make me feel great.
Might just be sore, man. I think he might just be sore.
Yeah, Derby. The only thing that matters is if we get a stop here, though. We gotta get a stop for Joe Burrow to be able to do that.
He says he's good, though. He said he's good on the sideline, man. He said, I'm good. T. Higgins absolutely exploding, man.
Yeah, I mean,
They got to get a stop, man. I mean, you got 2 timeouts. You got an extra timeout for the 2-minute warning. You can really allow 1 first down right here in this situation. 1 to 2 first downs, maybe, depending on what happens on first and second down. Come on, bro. If I'm the Ravens, I'm dialing up a shot play right here to kill the team.
yeah, I mean they've been killing us
We're
underneath
running
all
the ball.
day.
At some point, our D line's got to make plays, man. What's going on, man? We got DJ Reader in the middle. Come on, guys. That's a great play right there, though. They called a timeout right there. I wouldn't call a timeout this early. No, let's go get the second down, then maybe use your timeout. Because you at least basically get another timeout because of 2-minute warning.
Right. Yeah, maybe they just think that they can.
Man, Lamar Jackson did not play well against the pressure, man. We just could not get home, man, with all
No,
these
man.
backups in.
That was bad. I mean, I can't stand us not getting home. I mean, it was like 4 or 5 opportunities that we just missed because we couldn't wrap them up. Couldn't
What
get
is
to
up
them.
with the DBs, bro? What's up with the quick trigger, man? Come on, go make a play. Go make up. We just seem so passive in the run defense, man. We're not attacking downhill. We're not. We have to attack, man. So I'm not trying to rant. We just gotta attack. I like that timeout. Show pressure and just play cover 2 behind it, man, and force Jackson to
Yeah.
hold the ball.
Yep. I mean, the pressure's got to get home. That's not all that. That's all that really matters at this current moment. I mean, they've tried time and time again all day today to get pressure, sending a couple guys, and it's gotten there. It just hasn't gotten home, hasn't resulted in a
Right.
sack, and then we get burnt for it. This time it has to be a sack. They have to. They have to get the sack here. They can't get the sack here. We're in trouble.
21 second. They're putting the ball in Jackson's hands right here. Quarterback power if I'm the Ravens, man. I know you're ahead of me, but I'm thinking quarterback run if I'm the Ravens.
I'm still in the timeout.
Okay.
God damn, dude.
This is ridiculous, bro.
It's not good.
Bro. Come on, man.
All right, this is the final. This is pretty much the final.
This is the final
The-
series right here, man.
Yeah, this is the 3 and out right
We
here.
just cannot get home, bro. We just cannot get home, man.
It's 3 and out or it's over. It's ball game. If they get a first down
Right.
here, we don't have any timeouts left. I mean, it's
If you're the Ravens, you're going for the first down right here, right? I mean, or maybe you grind it out. I don't know till the 2-minute warning.
so it'll be 2-minute warning after this first down, or not this first down, but this.
I mean,
first
the
down
boys
play.
up front, man. The front seven has been get. Am I allowed to say curse words on here or what?
If we're feeling it, I think we should.
Boys been getting their ass kicked, man. That's just. Someone make a play. Come on. My goodness. Second and 9 with 2 minutes, man. Boys up front getting they're getting their rear ends kicked, man. Okay. Front
this is-
seven absolutely dominated this game. They're getting dominated.
I mean, it's their backups too. We got 2 backup linemen playing right now, and they're getting their ass kicked.
Dude. For the Ravens they do have like a culture of always being tough and like no matter what, next guy up, which is why I really don't care when people complain about injuries. But man, you got DJ Reader, you got BJ Hill, Sam Hubbard. I know Trey Hendrickson has been a liability in run defense, man, but dude, man, I mean, Miles Murphy's not making an impact either. They tried to give him snaps early, but he's been losing like integrity, his lane integrity and contain. So I think they're just not playing him at all now. We'll see. Maybe I'm missing it, but we'll see. Oh, this is huge, man. This is huge right here. The good thing about the offense, though, man, is you have kind of see them come alive, but it's still like, Zach, man, let's make some things easy.
Yeah, it wasn't.
And I'm
what cost them was the slow start. I mean, they started slow today,
Man, dude.
and that's what's killed them so far. That and the Joe Burrow interception. That was just a really bad.
The Joe Burrow interception was huge, man.
That's the difference right now. Is that interception?
Starting off 0-2 in the division is disgusting.
Just in general, it's disgusting. I mean, 12. I know we did it last year, but 12% to make it to the playoffs when you start 0-2 is not a.
No bueno.
It's hard to beat those odds. We did it once. I don't know if we can do it again. Yeah, Charles. I mean, instead of spying, they're sending the guy to get pressure, and they're just not getting home. I mean, I want to say I
Yeah.
counted like maybe 5 or 6 times before I switched over to the GameCast where they just had a guy and he was almost there, but they didn't get home, and they just let Lamar get through. And I mean, he makes you pay.
Where is the chat? Where can I find the chat? Because I don't see it on my screen.
I just have the chat pulled up on my phone.
Oh, okay, okay. It'll pop up in a second. So you get the ball back. If you get a stop here, you get the ball back with about 1 minute on the clock.
Yeah, they have to stop him here. They have to go 3 and out here, or else
The
it's
slow
over.
starts are cooking me, dude.
Oh my god.
You can't tell me we're just catching way too much on the back end, man. That's the same exact play they just ran the play before. They literally just did that. Just getting dogged, man, up front, dude. The Bengals don't even deserve to win this game. That's how we played, but man, you like to see the boys have a chance, man. Defense has been getting annihilated.
Yeah,
3rd and 2, man. This is the game. You might be ahead of me. And they get it. That's the game, man.
that's the game.
What happened to this D line, man? What happened? My gosh, bro.
They got bullied for 2 weeks in a row
What
now.
happened, dude? My gosh, bro. Wow, that is disgusting.
They've been bullied 2 times in a row now. 2 weeks in a row, they've been completely dominated up front. Holes the size of Montana, and just letting the running backs run free. They can't get pressure home. They look slow out there. There's no urgency. This is not a great 2-week start whatsoever. I'm gonna let the
Terrible
clock
start,
run
man.
out, and then I'll hit the intro here in a second. Just let me know when it hits 0 on your end so I can.
Man, Joe Burrow limping, dude.
God, that's just not good either. Slow starts, bad play calling. Burrow's hurt. I don't know how much more down a Bengals fan can be right
Man,
now,
bro. Oh, dude, man. Let me know. Yeah, game ended on my end, man.
All right.
Game is over with.
I'll roll the intro then. How about that? All right.
Yeah, what do? We do the welcome to Chatterbox Bengals. I got it.
Here. Roll the intro. Well, welcome to Chatterbox Bengals. Another losing edition this week. Eric, that was not good. That was not a great. That was not a great game.
Man, not good, man. Bengals fall to 0-2, 0-2 in the AFC North as well, too, on top of that to compile. And then you look at, just the end of the game, man, just some simple observations. And Joe Burrow's limping off the field, and you see him saying a curse word. So there's a good chance, this is, I don't know, man. It's a tough spot to be in right now. Really tough.
Yeah. That was a very damning last bit of footage there. Just seeing Joe Burrow limp off the field. I am a loss for words. I mean, they had the chance to win the ball game. They had some mistakes that cost them, like Burrow's interception, not getting home on pressures, and it still doesn't feel like they should have won this ball game. They've just played really, really poorly. I'm gonna go through the box score recap real quick, just so you guys can be caught up to speed on what we're talking about here. The very first drive of the game, Lamar and company go down the field, 13 plays, 75 yards, an 8-minute drive, killing most of the first quarter. Bengals then go 3-and-out. They miss a third down throw to Irv Smith Jr. on the, or is it senior? Either way, Irv Smith on the sideline there. Couldn't get both feet in bounds, and then they miss a field goal. The Ravens do, and then we punt the ball again on 3-and-out. The subsequent punt for the Ravens turns into a Charlie Jones touchdown. Field goal, tied ball game. Ravens then take a 12-play, 53-yard drive where a really wacky penalty on Cam Taylor-Britt for illegal contact downfield was called, and then subsequently 2 holding calls back-to-back on the Ravens to then force them to kick a field goal, making it 13-10. Then we start the second half. Joe Burrow and company drive down the field. They're in the red zone. Joe Burrow throws a costly red zone interception on a really bad read. And then from there, the Ravens throw their first bomb of the day, a 52, 53-yard throw to Zay Flowers. And then they punch it in with Mark Andrews, making it 20-10. Bengals then respond with a 13-play drive of their own. 75 yards, score to T. Higgins. Then the Ravens score again. Punt, Higgins again. Ended the ball game. It was not great. The game, they just started slow, right? If they don't start slow, I think they have a pretty good chance of winning this game. Play calling has been an issue, and I think that's the reason why we're starting slow. So why don't we just talk about some of the play calling issues to start this show off?
Yeah, man, it just feels like when you're watching this team play, right? You're watching the Bengals play this prolific offense um, that we're all expecting to see that puts up points on top of points. You got 2 number ones, we're saying, and then we got Tyler Boyd, and we do. They're really talented players, but it feels like the offensive play calling, the routes, the concepts that we're putting out there are not challenging the defense, right? From a thinking standpoint, and they're just basically planning on athletes to go win, right? Oh, Jamar Chase, go run a back shoulder fade and just win. T. Higgins, go run a 5-yard hitch. Tyler Boyd, run a 5-yard out or a simple slant route on the inside on a slot corner. There's nothing when we're over flooding zones or we're running concepts to confuse the back end. Quite frankly, the Ravens were missing 5 starters, guys. 5 key starters on defense. Not they missed some key starters on defense is what I wanted to say. Marlon Humphrey and then their safety. That's a big deal. And quite frankly, Geno Stone played his tail off today. Honestly, he really did. So, yeah, man, there's much to be desired about the play calling, but feels like the same song and dance, Casey. We did this last year, right?
Yeah, I mean, to me, it feels like the Bengals are content with running the same playbook for 3 years in a row now. And it's worked great up until this point. The play calling has been based off of we're going to just outman you. We are going to run these fades. T. Higgins is going to beat you over the top. Jamar Chase is going to just run circles around you. Tyler Boyd, he's sure-handed in the middle of the field, and up until this point, it's worked. But I think defenses are starting to catch up, and they just realize that this is the exact same playbook now 3 times in a row. And anytime
Yeah.
the worst part is the things that are new and that we haven't seen yet before, like the motion for Jamar Chase, and then they throw it to the backside to Mixon. It just didn't work at all. They knew it was coming. There's some plays there where it was like we're throwing these screens out there to Jamar Chase, and the corner's just running up there like he knew the play was coming. I mean, there's something
Yeah.
there. There's some sort of tell, or it's been the same playbook, and they just know that it's coming. Now, play calling has been an issue to start the season many, many times. But this time it just feels different. I go back to last year in the Pittsburgh game. Joe Burrow looked like he was still able to wheel and deal a little bit. You know, he had
Yeah.
4 or 5 picks, but he was still throwing the ball out and around like all over the yard. And then the Dallas game, that was just a offensive line issue. Both times now, I felt like the offensive line has played good enough. The run game has been there. We're not running the ball. It's not balanced at all. I mean, today was what 40 throws for Joe Burrow, 40 something attempts, and Joe Mixon, he's running the ball 13 times for 59 yards for 4.5 yards a carry. I mean, there's just something off, right? I don't know what it's going to take for the Bengals to change their mindset early on in seasons like this, but they need help. They need help creatively. They need help play calling. They need help just getting motivated because today just also didn't feel like they were very motivated to get anything done.
Yeah. This feels like they're lacking juice, right? Whatever you want to quantify that as, they're lacking it, man. There's no aggression in the run game. D line's getting pushed around. Linebackers aren't attacking downhill. Logan Wilson had a couple good plays, man. But outside of that, man, it's been kind of few and far in between. And when you look at the play calling, we're talking about offense, but um, I almost feel like on defense too. And I know Lou Anarumo has been a guru for the Bengals, man, but it's just been everything that Lou called. Todd Monken had an answer for it, and that's how it is. But like, we gave up 27 points today, man, and the offense did come on late, but it just seemed like the defense could not find a stop out there. Whether it was play calling or maybe effort, I don't know. I mean, I'm not, effort's a tough thing to question, but no doubt about it, man. It seemed like whatever we called on defense, they had a counter to it, and I felt like we might have checked out of pressures too much on defense. Honestly, they should. If you guys are gonna beat us, let's go out on the sword, man. Not sitting back in coverage, looking like Swiss cheese. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah. I mean, they were comfortable letting everything underneath get completed. And then when it
Yeah,
mattered when the Ravens decided they're going to take their chance after the red zone interception, throw it deep down the field, they made it. That's all it takes. That's all it takes. They are fine with taking the little dink and dunks all the way down the field, running the ball,
yeah,
grinding out drives. And then the moment they decided to go deep and convert, that was it. That's all Lou needed to say, I'm not going to let that happen again because they're
yeah,
capable. It's just the defense, they got ate up a little bit. Yeah,
yeah,
Kasky,
man. It was
I can send you a link, Kasky.
much to be desired, man. I think overall in this game, man, we'll kind of go through the points. I don't want to jump ahead, but yeah, man, it just the play calling was just I don't know, man. I don't know if it's so much the play calling because I feel like as a supporter and a fan of this team, this is the least bothered I've been watching this team struggle. Okay, it really is truly, but also in the same way, it's frustrating because the expectations is the ceiling is the roof, right? And maybe I don't know, man. Maybe we got to talk about a couple things. We'll go through here, but just we're kind of it's disappointing to see another 0-2 start, man.
Yeah, it really is. I don't know. I don't know how we feel as a Bengals nation. Probably not great. But
Not
0 and
good, man.
2, 0 and 2, 12% chance to make to the playoffs. And I know we beat those odds last year, but
Yeah,
you're really trying to push the odds, defying it twice in a row in one season. So let's talk about
it's
the
tough,
one.
man.
Let's talk about the one bright spot, which was just Charlie Jones and Charlie Jones and T Higgins. I know it doesn't say T Higgins, but T Higgins also balled out. Those were the two
Yeah,
bright
yeah, yeah.
spots.
Yeah, man. T. Higgins absolutely went off today. Last week, what did he have? Did he have 0 catches last week?
Yep.
I don't know what he had. It wasn't good last week, right? He had 0 catches last week. He was maybe not locked in as much as he said, like in the interview. He ran some routes wrong, and just Burrow was missing too on some plays last week. And he comes back this week and responds in a game where really Burrow and Chase were out of sync. Honestly, they were,
Yep.
and T. Higgins stepped up, played like a number one receiver, and he really was winning. He did not have alligator arms in some places where he caught the ball in traffic, and man, he played his butt off. And then Charlie Jones, right? Let's talk about Charlie because look, I know Chuck didn't have the camp that we all expected. Uh, I know he was kind of dealing with some injuries as well too. But let's be honest. Last week in the rain against Cleveland, Chuck looked a little slow. Okay, and a lot of people were getting on him saying, "Hey, Chuck's a little slow. I don't know if he could do this punt return thing. We might need a punt returner that's explosive." And I said, "Hey, cool your jets. This guy's been doing this for his entire life. He's been a punt returner and he's been great at special teams. He was really good at Iowa, and quite frankly, today Charlie Jones showed why the Bengals drafted him. That was that was one of the best punt returns I've seen in a long time as a Bengals fan, man. I can't remember a time I've been that excited watching someone return a punt for Cincinnati. Might have been Pac-Man Jones, honestly. So really good to see the kid, man, flash and make a big play.
Yeah, I was very impressed. At first, I was really upset because of the flag. I was just like, "You got to be kidding me!"
Oh
But
man, me too.
they
Yeah,
picked it up, and it ended up being a positive. And now teams are going to have to play us a little different in special teams. And I know it's a very minor aspect, but it does matter. It does matter. It allows us to potentially have more opportunities to get better field position because they're going to either kick the ball shorter or they're going to attempt kicking it out of bounds. There's just a lot of positives to what Charlie Jones did today. Very excited for
yeah,
that. And then T Higgins, I mean, he turned it around. He looked like his old self. Now, that might be at the cost of just the rest of the offense not looking great with Jamar Chase only having 5 catches again for 35 something yards. But, he tried to put the team on his back, and he, for the most part, did a pretty good job. 2 touchdowns, 90 something yards on 8 catches. I'll take that every day. Um,
yeah, man.
so I'm going to now introduce Kasky into the show. He wanted to join in. Just give me 1 second. I'm trying to produce and host the show at the same time. So 1 second. There we go. Kasky, how you doing,
Coach,
man?
what's up?
What's up, guys? How you guys doing?
Good, Coach. Good. How you doing? You doing all right?
I'm all right, man. I just watched what you guys watched. So obviously, not a good start for the Bengals. There's a lot of things
Yeah.
to you could beat them up on, but at the same time, man, I mean, look back on last year. They were 0-2 last year at the same point with a division loss, and they ended up going to the AFC Championship game and almost winning. So, I would
Yeah.
say just I mean, things are, yeah. Would you like it to be better? Sure. But there's a lot of things within this game. If you watched it, number one, I don't understand why Joe Mixon doesn't get the ball more than he does. Um, he had,
He's a man.
I want to say it was 13 or 15 rushes for like 60 yards. I mean, it was like 4.5 yards a carry or whatever it was, I think, as I saw. And
Yeah.
he caught a pass for another 20 yards or whatever it was. And that just let that guy play a little bit too. I mean, I get it. You've got some major weapons on the outside, but just let your players that are hot at the time, play. And that's where I see the offense being right now. And it looked like to me, whether or not Joe Burrow was hurt at the end of the game or not, it's yet to be seen. But he was limping there at the end. And again, I don't think he's the kind of guy to fake an injury to say, "Oh, well, I was injured, that's why we lost." He's that kind of guy. And so maybe they'll figure that out. But again, they got to give their players a chance to play. And again, I'm sorry, Casey, for calling you out there, but I just I couldn't get a text message reply from you, and I know you're producing. You got to learn how to multitask, brother.
Yeah, yeah.
Come on, Case.
I got 3 hats on at once here. But yeah, I have to agree with you, Coach. I mean, I have it written here in my notes from the second quarter. Just give the ball to Joe. He's running at 4.5, 5 yards a clip, and it's like he's only getting maybe 18 touches a game, including the pass, which he was 40 yards receiving as well. So if you want to add it together, he was almost 100-yard. It was almost a 100-yard day for him, and
it didn't even feel like it, did it? It didn't even feel like he had the ball. If you really look at the game, it didn't feel like he was even there.
Yeah, I thought that would be the game plan going in too, just based off of how much we struggled just trying to throw the ball. And again, it was another 40-something yard or 40 attempt day for Joe, and he was 222 yards with 5 yards a clip. I mean, it looked like they turned it around, but it was too late. They started off slow again. They need to go in there, let Joe get the ball early. Let him just feed him early. Get him going, get the run game going, and then when they start bringing the guys down to stop that, then you throw it over the top. That's just simple football logic there. And it just seems like
the best friend to a quarterback is the running game. Get it going.
Running game, man. Why, Coach? And I didn't play in the NFL, Coach, okay, but I did play college ball. What am I overstepping when I'm saying the route concepts just seem like just go win? You're like, what I'm saying? I don't see much creating conflict for the back end on the defense in general. I just see like, hey, go out there, run a slant or a back shoulder fade and beat this guy. Or am I just, you know what I mean? I don't know, man. I just feel like there's something that we're missing.
There is a lot of that. And I think you've built that over the last couple of years where it's become a we're better than you mentality, and honestly they are better than you, and that's the mentality they have. But the problem you're getting with that is people can catch up to that schematically and can put people in position to take those things away. And the more that they it started to show up where they started to hit some throws over the middle, to Tyler Boyd and T. Huggins and things like that. And that's what's hard about those guys. When you have that many guys that have a vertical threat, if you start throwing some of them vertical and then having somebody come back underneath about mid-range, like a dig or a basic cross, and that's where you can start to hit people. It looked like that's what they were doing, where they were bringing guys more or less over the middle, kind of about 12 to 15 yards, and they were taking the top off with everybody else, and that was opening that up. But, again, it goes back to being able to run the ball. If you can't run the ball or you're not willing to run the ball, then you just go and you drop into coverage and you let your rushers rush. That's where Clowney came into play late in the game.
Yeah.
I was actually kind of shocked when I first saw him because I didn't realize he was wearing number 24. I was like, who is this DB, this big DB that keeps making plays? And I was like, oh, that's Clowney. Never mind. But he kind of threw me off with that. But no, and again, flipping sides though, if you look at the Bengals defense, they've got to shore up their run game. They got to stop the run better than they've been doing. It's and again, I can't really tell what the problem is, but again, it's just that there at the end they were running those jet sweeps and they weren't even blocking Hubbard. If you notice that's the whole point of a jet sweep. You don't block that C gap defender, and they were actually running those plays without even blocking one of the Bengals' best players. And they've just got to get to a point where early in the game they can stop those run plays. And that stuck out to me more than anything. And it wasn't necessarily that Baltimore was just killing them in a pass game, but again, I mentioned on my show last week about being able to stop Lamar on those just pass plays, just not breaking contain, not letting him break contain, the rush lanes and things. And, Lamar was able to gain some yards just on pass plays, and it's not like they had a whole lot of run game that was based just on him. So, again, the defense I thought just needs to just show up the run game. If they show up the run game, honestly, not a lot of people are going to pass on those defensive backs. Those defensive backs are really good, and I had no idea that Dax Hill and Justice Hill were brothers. I had no idea that until they showed it on TV. Yeah. That's actually pretty cool, man. I mean, how often do you get to play against your brother?
That's a heck of a family duo right there, man. Thanksgivings must be pretty nice around there. You know what I mean?
depending on how their seasons are going, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
I mean, today I bet their family was having fun today though, because you got to think. I mean, you can't pull for one over the other. So I mean, I got 3 kids.
Yeah.
If they're playing against each other, I don't know who I'd pull for. Now, one of them.
Yeah.
I got one I might pull for more than the other, but we'll leave that at that.
Man, looking at the defense, man, the run game, I 100% agree, Coach. They got to get the run game fixed. It seemed like we were just kind of getting moved around a little bit up front in that front seven, but I just felt like this team plays with a lot of juice typically. Seemed like I didn't think we had the juice today, honestly. Maybe we made Logan Wilson. I think is always a dog, but I just felt like, man, we were kind of missing that spark play.
Do you ever feel though that, and I felt this way a little bit because I coached there for 9 seasons, and I felt like this was kind of the Cincinnati thing: is if you don't get off to a strong start, if you don't get off to a fast start, a lot of times it's hard to pull yourself out of that kind of lull, and that's the way I felt today watching them. I felt like they got into a lull early. And it took them a while to pull themselves out. I don't think that's a fan thing. I just think it's something about there's and I think they've broken that culture. I think that they've gotten to a point where they believe in themselves. But again, they've got to be able to have a slow start and pull out of it, mid-second quarter or something and get yourself going again. And I felt like that's always been an issue. That at least when I was there, I just felt like, if we got off to a slow start, it's hard for us to pull out. So, we pulled out. We were able to get out of those lulls quite a bit. And I mean, we had a lot of successful seasons while I was there. But it was like, I watched this team, and they've got so much talent across the board. I'm talking about offense, defense, everything. I mean, they returned a punt for a touchdown today, and I had no idea that was the first one since 2012. I mean, Darren Simmons is a really, really good special teams coordinator, and I mean, I was there until 2018. I thought we had some between then, but I mean, it was that fact in itself. But I'm glad to see that Darren's keeping those guys going. I mean, y'all got a good thing in Darren Simmons. I'm just telling y'all right now. A lot of people forget about him being there probably, but I'm just telling you the special teams are in good hands, and he's been there since 2003. He came with Marvin when Marvin came in, so I mean he's been there a long time, and I promise you that y'all got a good thing with that. And but again, they got to be able to pull out of that. If things don't start right, get it going a little quicker.
Yeah, for sure.
To the one thing that I noticed on defense, just to go back a little bit to it, the pressure that was dialed up never made it home. And we touched on it a little bit with Lamar and opening those rush lanes. At some point, the Bengals pass rush has not been great over the years. It's been average, below average over time, but since we started dialing up these pressures and they're not even getting home, that worries me a lot for the long-term future. Just seeing we're attempting to do more of that, and it's just not working, especially with how well it worked against Lamar last week. And on top of that, though, there was 2 sacks in that game that were wiped away due to penalties. The one that was a strip sack, that took away from us. That was a big play in the game. And then the B.J. Hill face mask, or the hands to the face call, that was a big time too. So it's not like completely out of the it's 0 on the stat sheet, right? 0 sacks, but they did happen. There was pressure there that it was taken away.
I've lived through some stuff even after I left Cincinnati. We went to Detroit. We played Green Bay on a Monday night, and we got a hands to the face at the end of the game, against Aaron Rodgers, and we lost the game against him. And we're like, really, hands to the face? Like, he was barely even touched. But
right.
Things happen. I mean, it just again, it goes down to the calls. I mean, the calls go both ways now. I mean, there's going to be a time later in the year where somebody's going to make it. There's going to be a call that goes the Bengals' way that people are going to think, hey, that's not. I don't agree with that from the other side, but they just got to keep playing. And the defense. I really love what Lou Anarumo does on defense. I think their defense is well put together, but something's just happening right now where they're just not making the plays. And I think what's going to happen, you're going to see here pretty soon. They've got a few. I don't want to say, the Titans won today, the Cardinals, I believe, and then I think they have the Seahawks. So you're talking about, Seahawks just. I think the Seahawks just beat Detroit in Detroit. So
yeah, I think they won.
You got some teams that are playing decently, and Titans are kind of always what they are, and the Cardinals, I would say they should be able to get right by them, but then. The Seahawks, who knows what you're going to get, but I think they're going to be a tough test. But you're talking about some teams that they should be able to, if they can get their stuff just kind of put back together, get the basics going back into flow with what they're doing, and they should be fine. Again, I don't doubt what they're doing. It's just they've just got to make the plays, And again, They went 0-2 last year. They went 0-2 last year, man. I mean, you say what you want. They went 0-2 last year, and they went to the AFC Championship game. Probably should have won that game too. So, I don't think people in Cincinnati should be too beaten down just yet. About what's going on, but I appreciate you guys having me on, Casey. I'm sorry I had to go into the chat to get you to pay attention to me. You know what I'm saying? But it's all good. I still love you. It's I hope everybody that's watching Tuesday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, come watch Chatterbox Clicker. And y'all can come on my show anytime you want. I mean, I would love to see you guys on there, and we'll break it down at that point after I have a chance to look at the film.
Awesome, Coach. We'll see you on Tuesday.
Coach, before you go, the clicker. Coach, before you go, the clicker is fire, man. It's absolute fire. I love what you're doing.
I appreciate it. I try to make it like y'all are watching, like I'm coaching you in the position room and kind of talking just football. It's kind of an unbiased look at it. I know it's a Bengals related show. I get it, but at the same time, I mean, I think people kind of want to know what's going on. What's the coaching behind what's going on, and whether it's good or bad, and kind of just get the video out there.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, guys. Well, y'all have a good one, man.
All right, thanks, Coach.
All right, Coach. See you later. Coach Kasky joining the show, man. I love the clicker. I absolutely love it.
Yeah, and for those of you that don't know, it's on at 9 p.m. on Tuesdays. It's live, so you can join in on the show and ask him questions that you have over the film and see what his thoughts are on it. Because I mean, he's a former NFL coach. If you don't know, really, really smart, and he's on his game. He knows his stuff. Really appreciate Coach Kasky coming on and kind of breaking some of this stuff down for us. We only got two topics left. Burrow, which we kind of hit on pretty much all show. Just, he came up limping. That's very concerning for the future. Hopefully there's nothing there. Yeah. He made one really crucial mistake. That was, if you want to point at something, there's a lot of things you can point at to the reasons why we lost this game, but the one interception in the red zone is just something that you can't have happen. It was a play that, in my mind, that was not very Burrow-esque. He got fooled on a guy rotating on the backside in the red zone, throws the pick, trying to target T. Higgins. I don't know if he's trying to force the ball to T. Higgins at that point in the game, but it did feel like it was just an ill-advised throw. That could be the difference between this game. Regardless, the Bengals are now 0-2. And we've hit this other point as well throughout this show, that it's a 12% chance for you to make it to the playoffs, starting 0-2. Thoughts on that, Eric?
Yeah, man, 12%. That number is not good. We like to see the 98s to 80s, right? But the one thing I'll say, man, kind of like Coach alluded to, the Bengals were in this situation last year. I almost feel like for Burrow, right? And I didn't say anything about Burrow, but I think there's a chance he doesn't play next week, and then potentially there could be a chance that we don't see Burrow for 2 to 3 weeks. Realistically, honestly, it's the calf, man. And last time he was out for how many weeks? 4 weeks.
Yeah, it was four
Was he?
weeks.
Yeah, he was out for 4 weeks, man. So he was working on the sideline. We saw that. Maybe I'm being a little bit over. Maybe it's like 2 weeks. I don't know. But we saw the calf. But I think for Burrow, even though he threw the interception late, like in the red zone, I do think sometimes for Burrow, when he makes a mistake, it almost like a flip or a switch flips for him. And like the next coming back, he was on. You know what I mean? For me, when he responds like that, I know, okay, Joe Burrow's getting back on track. I feel good. I know we're 0-2. Like I said earlier, this is the most unbothered I've been as a Bengals fan. Quite frankly, I know as the supporters of the team, we've been through some hard times, man. 0-2 feels like the world's collapsing with the expectations, especially when you say 0-2 in the division. But considering this is a team that has historically struggled in the Burrow era and Zach Taylor era, and really quite frankly, when Burrow has struggled in divisional games against the Ravens, against the Browns. And here we are. You got the Browns and Ravens the first 2 games of the season, and you were sitting at 0-2. Now, today they had a really good chance to they could have won that game. A couple things go their way. They didn't. But I don't think it's time to panic. But I do think, realistically, the Bengals need to find their identity. Okay, I don't want to ramble too long, but on the show today, pre-show, whatever the case may be, or maybe during the game broadcast, they say, "Hey, Zach Taylor says it. Week 4, week 5 is when they find their identity." Coach, the Bengals might be a running team. Legit,
Yeah.
that's okay. You can have Jamar Chase, you can have T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd and still use them, but the Bengals could be a run first team. And quite frankly, if they were a run first team, that would benefit them like beyond belief. Everything's going to open up for Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Tyler Boyd. And I think the reluctancy to want to run the ball is part of the reason they're sitting 0-2 now. But I just hope this 0-2 start forces them to find their identity quicker, right? And that's kind of, sorry to ramble, but that's kind of how I see it and how I feel about it.
No, I didn't think you were rambling there. I agree with you. I think that 0-2 is a bit of a wake up call, right? I mean, there at least this game there was a semblance of the old offense working, right? I mean, they scored. It was 24-27. Really, it was more like 17-27 if you take away the punt. But I mean, they were moving the ball to there towards the end. It's really about just slow starts. I mean, this has just happened way too many times. The slow starts are old, and they need to stop. I mean, that's a coaching thing. They need to get better at starting off quicker. The 0-2 thing, I'm not, like you said, I'm not super worried. I'm not hitting the panic button. I might hit the panic button if they start 0-3, which means that next week, Monday, against the Rams, you got to win that game. You got to win this
Yeah.
game. If you don't win this game, I mean, it is incredibly difficult to come back 3 games down. I mean, here's my thought though. Even so, at 0-2, the Bengals will have a chance for the playoffs. With Burrow,
Right.
they always have a chance, right? They might not get the first seed anymore. That might be long gone. I don't know. I haven't really looked at the rest of the games, how they've gone this week. We could be looking at a situation. I know the Jags lost to the Chiefs, so there might be a lot of 1-1s right now, which could be a blessing in disguise for the Bengals. Only being down really a game, if you want to consider it that way. I know the Ravens are 2-0,
Yeah.
but you get my point. Like, there's still a good chance that the Bengals can get to the playoffs. They can still, even 0-2, get that first seed if they just play perfectly from here on out, which is a very tall task and a very tall order, especially if Burrow is not in there. We'll see. I'm very nervous though as of right now. Not hitting the panic button, just nervous.
Yeah. I think that's a great place to be in, man. It's okay to be nervous, and I wouldn't tell anyone not to be nervous because I think there is cause for concern. And the reason I say there's the big cause for concern, Casey, is that the Bengals. They said this in the broadcast. Okay, the Bengals are the only team in the NFL that has still their coach, their head coach, their special teams coach, and defensive coordinator all the same since 2019. I think whenever Zach joined the team.
Right.
And I think some of those things you should get with that is continuity. You really should have an advantage on all these other teams because you guys know each other so well. You know what I mean? But it almost feels like the first two games is always like and again, Burrow didn't play preseason, so it is kind of like a preseason and like kind of getting getting yourself, getting yourself together and getting back in the rhythm. And I think Joe Burrow really got back in rhythm today, but I almost feel like, man, well, we gotta see what's going on with the calf. He was working it really hard on the sideline, man, with the massage gun. And if I'm the Bengals, no matter what, okay, Burrow's not playing next week. That's just me. So panic, maybe not. But I think maybe with Burrow potentially having to sit next week, you talk about the Bengals are forced to maybe find their identity quicker, Casey. And you
Yeah.
talk about Joe Mixon running for 150 next week. You know what I mean? And 2 tutties. If you got him on your fantasy team. You know what I mean?
Right. I agree. And I think the Rams are playing right now. If we're wanting to just slightly
Yeah.
preview them, the score is 7-3. 49ers are up. That's a game that we all really should be paying attention to just to see what we're going to have to
Yeah.
deal with here. But it looks like as of right now, McCaffrey, 8 carries, 81 yards, and it's not even the second quarter yet. So Joe
Joe
Mixon,
Mixon season incoming.
yeah, that's what that tells me. I sure hope that's what happens. Before
Can we get on the phone? My bad. I was going to say, can we pick up the phone? And then might be a little outrageous, okay? Can someone shoot this over to Mike Brown or, the Blackbirds and say, hey, pick up the phone, call the Los Angeles Rams, say, hey, we know you guys got, hitting people with helmets out there in camp. But here, I got a first, a second, and maybe a player, and just send Aaron Donald over here so we can get some interior pass rush. Huh? Can we just get that going so we can get some interior pass rush and put pressure on the quarterback from the interior? It's going to help us a lot, man. No, I'm just being facetious, but the Rams are 1-0, man, so they've been a good team too. So, yeah, I'll watch that game here once we finish up.
Yeah, I'm just looking through the chat real quick. Longest was 51 yards. I mean, you got to have open holes to be able to do that, so that kind of makes sense. You have to talk defense if you want to. If we get some stops there, we win the ball game. Yeah, Thom. I mean, that's all it really took. I mean, it was a very close game. Regardless of all the mistakes that happened, the game was close tonight. They just got to play better. They got to make more plays. Rick, I also dropped some F-bombs today.
Yeah, me too, man.
A lot of people.
I had to ask if I could cuss on the stream.
Because
I wanted to drop one, man.
Yeah, I was very close. I mean, it's just teams have always abused us over the middle. It was nice to see us dish a little of that back. I guess that kind of happened a little bit with T. Losing P. Ryan and Hurst had an impact on our offense, and changes in the secondary still have to be worked out. I don't know if I thought the secondary played well despite that 50-yard bomb. I mean, I think they had game planned that to dink and dunk us and then take their shot down the field. I don't blame the secondary really on that one. But yeah, guys in the chat, thank you for watching the show. We appreciate you all coming in. Dealing with this 0-2 loss together. We'll get through it together, man. This team, it's really got a bright future. We're going to be watching for the injury report, see where Joe's at. But until next time, on Monday, this has been Chatterbox Bengals.
Hooday.
Hooday.